Welcome back to the channel. Today we're creating a calming piece of abstract watercolour grid art using a limited palette of blues and greens. Each tiny grid square will be different, but the colours will connect them all. Once the paint dries, we'll add crisp black and white Posca pen details to bring everything to life. So let's begin. I've got the cold pressed watercolour paper taped down, and I've sectioned off the paper into 8 sections. I've got a small to medium sized brush, and I'm using the Kuretake paints today, though you could use any watercolour paints. So I'm starting off with nothing being measured, nothing perfect, just a handful of lines to break the page. And then I am just adding some circles. So the irregularity gives the piece a bit of character. Think of it as a patchwork of tiny abstract moments. So for this piece, I'm sticking to a small family of colours. So deep indigo, soft blue, turquoise, and maybe a muted leafy green. And limiting the palette keeps everything cohesive. Even though each square will look completely different, the colours become the thread that ties the whole grid together. So I'm starting with the tones, brushing them into random squares. Some get a smooth wash, others get a quick swipe of colour. I'm leaving a few squares completely black for the contrast. At this stage, I'm not thinking about patterns, just laying down some soft foundations, some lines here and there, some circles, and we are going to layer over the top with a little bit more paint, but we will need to let this first layer dry. So I'm switching from the deeper blues and then to the greens. I'm painting simple shapes inside the grid, a few vertical lines here, a circle there, a curved stroke in another square. Each box gets its own personality. Some are bold, some are delicate, and some are just a single mark, or I've smothered a whole area full of paint. The variety just keeps your eye moving across the page. So I have let that first layer dry, and I've looked at the page again and just thought, what can I add? So I'm adding some darker hues, getting the darker blues in here, the darker greens, and then they will create contrast and help anchor the composition. I'm painting thicker lines, adding some organic shapes, overlapping shapes, and a few textured strokes. Even though each square is different, the repeated colours make everything feel connected. I sometimes work on one box and maybe I'll complete that box, or sometimes I'll add some marks into one box, move on to the next, and then at the end look at one of the boxes and think, I need a little bit of extra there. So don't be afraid to go back in, add some more layers, and just to see how that goes. So I'm using the shape of the brush here, just making some organic shapes. The end of the brush there, this is a finer brush, to add some little dots in there. And then just outlining and adding some more circles within the boundaries here. So I'm just going with the flow. Whatever pops into my mind, I'm just going to add it to the page and I'm just going to see what happens. So you will see in a minute when I pull the camera away, you'll be able to see it in a little bit more detail, how each square is sort of building, you know, as it goes, and how I've created these different feels within each and every box. You might not want to do that. You might think, oh, well, I want everything more or less the same, and that's fine. I just wanted something cohesive in the colourway, but different in the mark making. So I'm just keep going until I feel that I've completed enough, because we will be moving on to the Posca pens once the paint is completely dry. So as you can see, they're not actually Posca pens. They are the metallic and the white Uniball pens. So they're a lot more finer than your Posca pen. And I'm just looking at the marks that I've got, and I'm just going to add some crisp details. So starting with the pens, adding thin lines, some tiny dots and little clusters of marks, some little dots and little lines, and the ink creates structure and contrast. A single line can turn a wash into a horizon, or a few dots can make a circle feel like it's glowing, especially with those metallics. I'm keeping the marks small so they don't overpower the softness of the watercolour underneath. So with the white pen, that can add highlights. The white ink sinks beautifully on top of the blues, the darker colours that we've got, and we're adding again some tiny circles, little sparkles and short lines that echo the shapes underneath. The white marks brighten the darker squares and add a certain sense of movement. This is where the grid starts to really come alive. So just continuing, and a bit like with the paint marks, you might complete one and then go back because there isn't enough mark making on there. And I did this quite a lot with this. I was just going around in a circle, completing and adding more marks as I went, just because I thought, well, that one's got a load of marks, and why hasn't the one I'd done previously got a load of marks? So I was just having such a fun time. I've just kept going, adding some more detail into each and every one of these squares. So I hope you like this. If you like this, please consider liking, subscribing and hyping. And if you want to leave me a comment, I look at the comments very regularly and I would love to hear from you. Love to hear, which of these squares do you like? Which is your favourite? Will you try this? What colourways will you use? It'd be really interesting to hear. So I'm just outlining some of the organic shapes there. And then I've heated up the tape and I'm just pinning it away, and this is my favourite bit, and it's where the abstract watercolour grid art, you can really see how cohesive and calming it is. So I'm going to bring it up to the screen so you can see each and every one. Let me know in the comments which is your favourite. I quite like the organic shapes myself. Let me know which is your favourite. Okay, well, thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you again soon. All right then, bye.